How can parents of autistic children find hope in Scripture? Are there hidden messages of acceptance for autistic people in the Bible? What does the Bible really say about being different? How does the Bible speak to the unique experiences of autistic people? I'm going to start out letting you know why today's episode won't include a Bible chapter. I want to let you in on something that is very dear to my heart: autism. Actually, a couple of things. First, if you're autistic or know an autistic person or have an autistic child, you should introduce them to the Bible. There's some very good reasons why, but I'll get to those reasons in a few minutes. Second, the word or diagnosis of autism is everywhere now. The problem is that the diagnosis is both a help and a hindrance. It can be a help by making people aware and not ashamed of their own or their children's limitations. The hindrance, it assumes that the person that needs help is the autistic person. Neurotypical person versus the neurodiverse person. The normal versus the autistic. Why is it that neurodiverse person is the one that has to adapt? Why is it that the autistic person has to learn to fit in with society? Up until recently in history, we could have survived easily. In fact, a lot of autistic people have probably been responsible for much of the settling of America. Think about it for a minute. Think about what it would have taken to travel across the ocean in a tiny, compared to today's standard anyway, boat with a few dozen other people for months just to get to an unknown land, unknown dangers. Just to be you, to be left alone, to do the things you want to do. If you're autistic, the U.S. Constitution could have been written just for us. The freedom to be me. Why is America looked on as different? Well, because America is the neurodiverse country, nation, in a neurotypical world. And yet, even today, we're being suppressed by neurotypical people. Why do we have to be like them? Why do we have to fit into their world? Why can't we have a place where we can just be ourselves? Why do I say we? Because I say they, and I mean they, are changing America. They are saying we are the ones with the problem. And when I say we, in this case, I mean me. I have spent my life trying to fit in, to pretend I'm one of them. Not because I want to be them, but because to survive, I had to. Who do you think were the explorers? Who went across America blindly into the unknown to make a better life? Yeah, I bet it was a wanderer, a traveler, probably an autistic wanderer. If you've ever been around an autistic wanderer, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Sure, there are levels of autism, but I can tell you, levels don't matter. On the spectrum, really, I can tell you it's not an on the spectrum thing. It's a we are different people. We have our own language. Sure, in this case, it might be English, but what I mean is the words coming out of our mouth is English, but really that's just words. We have different brains. We think differently. We learn or work very hard to learn your native language. Our native language is different. Most people don't realize that the words aren't the language. Body language is what you're hearing, and we have a different body language. There are many of us, so many that you might not even know that you're one of us. Luckily today, more people have become aware. People like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and on and on. What's fantastic is they're changing the world to fit us, not the neurotypical world. While many people still think they're strange or weird, I might not agree with their politics or their worldviews, but I applaud them for making my life easier. My shopping comes to me, my food can come to me, the internet, the phones. I can literally never leave my home and never let anyone in. I can quit trying to fit in. I can take off my mask and be me. No mask, no makeup, this is me. They're making a world where neurotypical people have to fit into our world. Sure, when I have to interact with people, I still have to be someone else, not me, my mask, to be less weird to them, hide my quirks, be the person they think I am, run the script in my head, mentally prepare things I have to go through before I go somewhere or talk to someone. Don't ramble. Don't repeat yourself over and over. Don't info dump on them. Watch their body language. Smile. Not too much or you're weird. Remember to smile, not frown smile. Remember, a smile is turning your mouth up at the corners, not down. Remember to look into their eyes. Not too much or it's weird. Don't look off into the distance when you're thinking. They might turn around to see what you're looking at. Don't make them uncomfortable. Don't rock. Don't tap your foot. Don't shake your ice pop. Don't even bring an ice pop. If someone wants to hug you or touch you, try not to pull away or cringe. Check the weather. So if someone says something, you at least know how to respond. What if they ask what I'm up to? What will I say? Oh no, someone's talking to me. What are they trying to tell me? Do I know something about what they're saying? Don't info dump. Are they bored? Did I miss the signal? Has it been long enough? Can I leave now? Did I remember to say goodbye? Whew. Did I make it out without showing how weird I am? I made it without melting down. I need to get home where I'm safe. Thank God I won't have to do this again for a while. Do you understand why I don't have friends? Why it's easy to get a job, but hard to stay at a job? My fear is they'll eventually see me. I can put on a mask and be the perfect job applicant. But when are they going to figure out who the real me is? Also, apparently, you're not supposed to giggle at the end of a phone conversation, or smile with a frown, or get sidetracked in the grocery store when you see a deodorant bottle with the wrong lid, and then determine which bottle it should have been on. Or why was the lid off anyway? To wonder if we're just someone else's ant farm. To not remember to help them clean up and help with the dishes. To forget to say goodbye. Not because I wouldn't have readily have done these things, just because they didn't occur to me until I got home. Neurotypical people, they don't do this. Why? Because they don't have to. For some reason, they are considered the normal people. Problem is, they're also the ones diagnosing whether I'm the one who doesn't meet their standards. But it's changing. Today, I still panic when the phone rings. But now, unless it's one of 5 people, my sons, husband, mom, or cousin, I don't have to answer. It's okay. It's not rude, not answering. These people know me. The rambling, repeating, not knowing when to end the conversation. They know when they've had enough because they're the ones that have to end it. Because I don't know. Text me. Yep. I don't know when to stop texting. They hopefully understand. I don't know what they're feeling. They tell me. Sometimes they forget. Then I start talking, trying to see, what is it? What's wrong? Is there something I can fix? Everything okay with the kids? Do you need me to do something? Hopefully, it's something I can do. Because if they're sad or hurt, I'm not the one they should have called. I don't know how to fix that. And I'm a fixer. That's how I show you I love you. Need a phone line? What kind of computer you should get? How to solve an algebra problem? I can tell you how to do most of these things. I will do anything you need. I will do anything you need me to do, except how to be normal. I can put on my identity for whatever I'm doing. What I think you need to see. Need me to be calm? Need me to be brave? Need me to soothe you? Sure, I can do those things. If you told me. I learned most of those faces. Mad at me? Upset with me? I probably have no idea why. Oh, sure, I've run the conversation 10 million times through my head. Yep, still no idea. You're going to have to tell me. I will do just about anything to fix it if I can. Excuse me. Sorry. See, normal people think you should just know. I'm sure their normal friends do. For the most part, my people, my five people, whether they know it or not, are my world. They let me be me. Sure, they get frustrated with me, but they probably are more on my level even than they want to admit. How many people are alcoholics, drug addicts, smokers, anxiety-ridden, depressed, or just commit suicide because they just don't fit in with the normals? Do you understand the struggle? What I'm trying to get at is, is the schools, work environments, churches, and just about everything in the last 100 years have been designed for what they think is normal for normal people. Before that, school was an individual thing, or at the very least, small groups. Workplaces were a couple of people. These huge schools and office buildings were unheard of. Teamwork, that's a nightmare. Sitting still for 8 hours, multitasking, not possible for me. Not only can I not multitask, I can't shift from one task to another without totally losing it. If I finally got started on a task, if I get stopped in the middle of it, good possibility that thing will never get finished. If I run out of nails in the middle of building something, yep, that's where it's going to stay for days, months, even years. More likely, I'll just move away, leaving that thing that reminds me I'm not normal. I wander into the unknown. There's danger. To find relief and hope God will protect me. Oh, we've come up with great words for the normals. One of them's procrastination. What it really means, I don't know where to start. If I start, I'll have to finish. So if I wait until the last minute, odds are no one's going to interrupt me. Or if they do, I've got an excuse to tell them, sorry, I would do that, but I have a deadline. Schedules can't be broken. I need my organization. Sure, we know how normal people do it, but I was born with a different brain. I know how it should be done, just not possible for me. Here I go, rambling on. Anyway, back to today's subject. Autistic brains can connect with the Bible. There are many, many reasons why, but the most important are God gives direct instructions, black and white. The Bible teaches our brains how to function. Notice God doesn't talk about feelings. He talks about doing. We're good at doing, not feeling. He tells us concrete things we can do to get along, concrete actions. That actions are love. You can feel sorry for something, but you have to actively do something to make up for it. All this feel-good stuff that current Christian theology is about, crap. Sympathize with people. Empathy. Really? If you ask me, that's the evil. That's evil telling you, as long as you feel for other people, you don't have to actually do for other people. Big talkers, no doers. It says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Not feel unto others as you would have them feel unto you. Now, for some reasons, autistic people can find relief in the Bible. For autistic people who love finding patterns, the Bible is full of repeating themes and connections, like a giant puzzle waiting to be explored. Many Bible stories show characters who felt different or misunderstood, reminding us that everyone's journey is valuable. If you find comfort in routines, daily Bible readings or prayers can provide a predictable and calming structure. Some autistic people prefer to study alone, and the Bible is something you can explore at your own pace. No pressure to keep up with everyone else. Stories like Daniel in the lion's den show that being true to yourself, even when you stand out, can be a strength. The Bible gives practical advice for handling emotions and relationships, which can be helpful when social rules aren't clear. Exploring the Bible's symbolism, like the meaning of numbers or reoccurring images, can be especially interesting for detail-oriented thinkers. Passages about God's unconditional love can reassure autistic people that they are valued just as they are. Learning how biblical characters solved problems can inspire creative strategies for facing challenges in everyday life. The Bible's poetic books, like Psalms, offer language for expressing feelings, even when it's hard to find your own words. Parables and proverbs break down big ideas into simple, relatable messages, making them easier to remember and easier to apply. Mapping out family trees or timelines in the Bible can turn study into a fun and organized project. Characters like Moses, who doubted his speaking ability, show that leadership can look different for everyone. Shared Bible study can be a safe way for autistic people to practice social skills and connect over a common interest. Even when change is hard, Bible stories about new beginnings remind us that growth is possible. The Bible encourages us to celebrate different gifts, reminding autistic people that their unique talents matter. Analyzing the layers of meaning in parables or prophecies can be a rewarding challenge for analytical minds. Ultimately, engaging with the Bible can help autistic people and everyone find hope, direction, and a sense of belonging. The Bible offers structured stories, poetry, and practices like daily readings or rituals that can provide comfort and routine. Psalms or Proverbs can be read in daily cycles, established prayers or rituals over stability. The Bible is full of patterns, repeated themes, and literary structures like genealogies and parallels. Autistic individual strengths in spotting patterns can lead to unique insights and deep satisfaction in study. Bible stories present clear narratives and moral lessons, which can help autistic people navigate social rules and expectations in a concrete way. Stories like the Good Samaritan or Ruth and Naomi model compassion, loyalty, and kindness. Many biblical figures express a wide range of emotions: joy, fear, frustration, hope, offering language and validation for feelings. Psalms, in particular, show honesty in expressing emotions, which can help autistic people process their own feelings. The Bible talks about the equal value of all people and the importance of diverse gifts, many parts, one Bible. This can provide reassurance and a sense of belonging, both within faith communities and in society in general. The Bible teaches that everyone is created in the image of God, affirming inherent worth and dignity. Stories of biblical outsiders, like Moses, who struggled with his speech, or Joseph, who was misunderstood, show that God values and uses those who are different. Spiritual practices, prayer, worship, meditation, rooted in Scripture, can provide comfort, connection, and hope. Encouraging acceptance and celebrating different strengths as modeled in Scripture. The Bible is a foundational text in literature, history, and ethics. Studying it can develop analytical skills, literary appreciation, and cultural understanding. Learning from the Bible stories about resilience, problem solving, and community can be inspiring, even outside a religious framework. Ritual and structure can be comforting, regardless of belief. Shared reading or discussion of the Bible can offer a way to connect with others, build communication skills, and find common ground, even in secular settings. Autistic people might engage with the Bible by visually mapping of stories, tracking patterns, joining structured study groups, using audio versions, or focusing on particular books or stories that resonate. Not every autistic person will find the same meaning or comfort in the Bible, and that it's important to approach study in a way that fits individual needs and preferences. For some autistic people, the Bible structure and reoccurring patterns are deeply satisfying and make learning enjoyable. Stories like Joseph's or Moses's show that being different doesn't mean you're less important. In fact, it often means you have a special role to play. Whether you're religious or not, exploring the Bible can help develop your analytical thinking and give you new ways to understand both yourself and the world. Repetition of phrases, numbers, and themes like 40 days, cycles of exile and return, blessings and covenants. Parallel stories such as the repeated promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Literary structure where ideas are presented and then repeated in reverse order. Autistic people may notice these structures more readily. find satisfaction and meaning in mapping, categorizing, or analyzing such patterns, develop deeper interpretations and unique insights about the text's organization and message. Scripture is interwoven with symbols and foreshadowing. Typology, events, or people in the Old Testament prefigure those in New Testament. Jonah in the whale as a precursor to Jesus' resurrection. Numerology. Numbers like 7, 12, 40 have special significance. Autistic pattern recognition can uncover connections across books, prophecies, and stories, and help understand how seemingly unrelated passages fit into the Bible's larger narrative. Biblical practices like prayer or Sabbath keeping, Bible reading, these are structured and repetitive. These practices can be especially comforting to autistic individuals who appreciate routine and pattern. Recognizing the rhythm in worship or scripture really can make faith activities more accessible and meaningful. Many autistic people excel at systemizing information. The Bible lends itself to mapping genealogies, timelines, or theological concepts. This can lead to a rich, organized understanding of Scripture that supports both personal faith and community teaching. Because of their pattern recognition, autistic individuals may see themes or literary devices that others miss, connections between ancient and modern contexts, creative applications of biblical principles, for example, noticing a recurring justice theme and applying it to new social situations, noticing how specific words are used and reused, like light in Genesis and John, observing the symmetry in the creation narrative or structure of Psalms, identifying recurring phrases in Jesus' parables and what they reveal about his teaching style. Autistic people's talent for finding patterns can make Bible study especially rich and rewarding, allowing them to see connections, structures, and meanings that deepen not only their own faith experience, but also that of their communities. Their unique perspective is a valuable gift to biblical learning. Clear stories and moral lessons. Biblical stories such as Joseph's journey, Genesis 37 through 50, or Ruth's loyalty, the book of Ruth, offer clear narratives with understandable lessons about perseverance, honesty, and kindness. These can help autistic individuals grasp social expectations and values in a structured, concrete way, providing scripts for handling complex emotions or social situations. Sense of routine and structure. Many parts of the Bible, such as the Psalms or daily readings, can be incorporated into a routine, something many autistic people find comforting. The repetition of prayers, rituals, or readings can provide grounding and predictability in daily life. They have something to go to when they can't handle another situation. Guidance for social interaction. Verses like, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you," offer simple, memorable guidelines for interacting with others. These can serve as social cues or reminders, especially when social rules feel overwhelming or unclear. Encouragement for uniqueness and worth. Passages such as Psalms 139:14, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made," celebrate individual uniqueness. This can help autistic children and adults feel valued and loved for who they are, counteracting feelings of being different or excluded. Coping with challenges and changes. Bible stories often focus on individuals who face adversity, such as Moses overcoming his fears, Exodus 3:4, or David finding strength in difficult times, 1 Samuel 36. These stories can model resilience and offer hope during periods of personal struggle or big life changes. Safe space for questions and emotions. Many biblical figures like Job or the Psalmites express confusion, frustration, or sadness directly to God. This shows that it's okay to have big questions and feelings and provides language and permission to process emotions, which can be especially important for autistic individuals. Finding community and belonging. The Bible teaches that everyone is a valued part of the community. The body has many parts. This can encourage autistic children and adults to seek and accept their place in faith communities, knowing their presence and gifts matter. Learning about forgiveness and second chances. Stories like the prodigal son, Luke 15:11-32, teach about forgiveness and making mistakes. This can help autistic individuals understand that errors in social situations or misunderstandings are just a part of life and that relationships can be repaired. Opportunities for service in ways that fit them. The Bible recognizes diverse gifts and roles. Autistic people may discover that they can contribute to community through their own strengths, whether that's detail-oriented work, creativity, or steadfastness, rather than feeling pressured to fit a single mold. Providing comfort and reassurance. Verses like Isaiah 41:10, "Do not fear, for I am with you," or Psalms 23, "The Lord is my shepherd," can be sources of comfort when facing anxiety, uncertainty, or sensory overload. Learning and reading the Bible can give autistic children and adults practical tools for understanding themselves, navigating relationships, and finding their place in the world, while offering comfort, structure, and affirmation of their unique worth. Recognizing different ways of belonging. The Bible contains a wide range of personalities, introverts and extroverts, leaders and quiet thinkers, those who act and those who just contemplate. For instance, Isaac is quieter and more reflective than Abraham. Moses initially resists public speaking, yet leads his people. Elijah seeks solitude, but is still cared for and called by God. These stories show that there is no one right way to belong. God works through people who need solitude, as well as those who thrive on togetherness. The value of solitude. Solitude, wanting to be alone, is not presented as a flaw in the Bible. Jesus himself often withdrew from crowds to pray alone. Mark 1:35, Luke 5:16. The Psalms, many written by David during times of isolation, demonstrate that deep connection with God and self can happen in solitude. You can learn that being alone can be a source of strength and creativity. Solitude can deepen your understanding and faith. Connection does not always mean physical togetherness. Spiritual and intellectual connection matter too. Problem solving and community. Biblical problem solving often happens in relationship with others, but also in moments of reflection. Joseph interprets dreams alone in prison, but also saves Egypt by working with others. Nehemiah plans alone at night before rebuilding Jerusalem with the community. You can use your problem-solving skills to contribute to others in ways that align with your strengths. Recognize that teamwork can take many forms, including behind-the-scene roles or offering unique perspectives. The Bible redefines love and togetherness. It emphasizes compassion, justice, mercy, and kindness. Acts of love can be small and quiet, not always loud and social. You can connect through acts of service, prayer, or creative gifts, even if you're not always physically present with others. Accepting yourself and challenging expectations, Scripture encourages authenticity. Psalms 139 speaks about being fearfully and wonderfully made. Paul describes the church as a body with many parts, each needed and valued. 1 Corinthians 12 through 17. You can embrace the way you're made as purposeful and valuable. Know that your preferences and gifts are necessary for the whole community. Share your insights. Your unique way of seeing problems and solutions can help others. Set healthy boundaries. It's okay to have alone time. Jesus did. Find small ways to connect. A message, a creative project, or helping solve a problem can be meaningful without requiring constant togetherness. Reading the Bible can help you see that people connect with God in diverse ways. Affirm the value of solitude as well as community. Find examples of individuals who contributed uniquely, often from places of quiet or reflection. Understand that togetherness is broader than simply being with others. It's about a shared purpose, kindness, and mutual support. You don't have to change who you are to fit in with the world's expectations or togetherness. Instead, you can offer your unique gifts, and the Bible provides both validation and models for doing just that. Genesis 1:27 declares that all people are created in the image of God. This profound idea means every person, including those who are autistic, has inherent worth, dignity, and purpose. For autistic individuals who may feel marginalized or misunderstood, this affirmation can be powerful, reminding them of their value and uniqueness. Genesis describes a world full of variety, from different animals and plants to the diversity among humans. The story of Babel also underscores that diversity of languages, cultures, perspectives. It's a part of the human story. Autistic people and their families can draw comfort from knowing that difference is part of God's design, not a flaw. Many characters in Genesis, such as Joseph, Hagar, or Jacob, experience feeling out of place, misunderstood, or different. Their journeys through misunderstanding, isolation, and eventual acceptance can resonate with autistic individuals who have similar feelings. These stories offer hope and encouragement that struggle and difference can have meaningful outcomes. Genesis is structured with reoccurring themes, genealogies, and patterns. Many autistic people appreciate structure and predictability. This repetitive pattern in Genesis, such as creation days, genealogies, and covenants. And so it was. And then he died. Over and over again, these become affirmations that repetition is not bad. These can provide a sense of order and familiarity. Genesis raises big questions about identity, purpose, suffering, and belonging. These are questions autistic people may also ponder deeply. The books open us to questioning and wrestling with God, as Jacob does, can validate the importance of asking difficult questions. Genesis can help autistic people by affirming their worth, offering stories about difference and belonging, and providing structured narratives that resonate with some autistic preferences. Most importantly, it can foster a sense of inclusion and value in both personal faith and community settings. Many autistic Christians and theologians have noted that certain biblical depictions of God resonate deeply with autistic ways of thinking, being, or relating. Drawing respectful parallels can help challenge stigma and affirm neurodiversity as part of the image of God. Here are a few ideas that highlight autistic traits reflected in scriptural portrayals of God. Love of order, pattern, and detail. In Genesis 1, God creates the world with careful order and sequence, dividing light from darkness, water from land, assigning roles to each creature and element. The detailed instructions for the tabernacle, Exodus 25 through 31, and temple, 1 Kings 6, show God's attention to structure, pattern, and precise detail. Many autistic people are drawn to order, routines, and patterns, finding beauty and meaning in detail, much as God seems to delight in structure and precision. When God gives commandments or instructions, they are often direct, explicit, and leave little room for ambiguity. The Ten Commandments, Leviticus laws. Autistic communication is often valued for its directness and honesty, qualities seen in God's straightforward directions and instructions and promises. The focus on justice and fairness. Throughout the Bible, God is passionate about justice, fairness, and defending the vulnerable. Many autistic people have a strong sense of justice and fairness, sometimes being distressed by hypocrisy or inconsistency, mirroring God's unwavering commitment to what is right, valuing solitude and withdrawal. Jesus, as God incarnate, often withdrew to quiet places to pray and recharge. In the Old Testament, God's presence is sometimes found in solitude. Moses meets God alone at the burning bush or on Mount Sinai. Many autistic people need solitude to process and restore energy, paralleling these divine moments of retreat and reflection. Unchanging nature and preference for consistency. God is described as the same yesterday, today, and forever. This steadfastness and predictability can feel comforting and familiar to autistic people who value consistency and reliability. Deep, focused relationships. The Bible shows God forming special covenant relationships with individuals, Abraham, Moses, David, rather than only relating to crowds or groups. Autistic individuals often prefer deep, focused relationships over broad social networks. Don't need a lot of friends, just a few important ones. Echoing God's pattern of intentional, personal connection. Nonconformity and unconventional methods. God often acts in ways that defy social expectations, choosing the younger sibling, Jacob, over Esau, or using unexpected people, Moses, who struggled with speech, or David, a shepherd boy. This nonconformity and value for what is different can be affirming to autistic people who ways of thinking and being don't always align with social norms. Autistic people can find aspects of their own experience reflected in the divine image. This can be empowering, reminding all of us that diversity, including neurodiversity, is part of the sacred story. God's love of order, clear communication, justice, consistency, and appreciation for the unique and unconventional all resonate with traits often found in autistic people. These spiritual patterns can help autistic Christians see themselves as truly made in God's image, and their differences seen as gifts that reflect the Creator. Today's episode was long and rambling. I understand that, and I'll be back to the regular episode next time. I hope it helps someone out there that needs a little reassurance. I'm Merrill, and this is Battleground. Please comment if you know someone like me, or maybe it's you.